But my heart belongs to someone else.
Hmm?
Miss Martha knew who she was and what she wanted at a young age. Martha is the original hear me out. She saw the vision when it came to the Grinch. Like last week or a couple weeks ago, I believe during the American Dad Rapture video, I said my personal rapture is all these fine, white hair anime men. Girl, I haven't told y'all how the majority of my hear me outs aren't even human. One is the Predator.
What?
And Death from Puss in Boots.
Yes. Yes. Yes!
Do what you will with that information. For years, people have labeled the Grinch as the villain of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. But if you actually pay attention, it becomes painfully obvious that the real antagonist of the story isn't the green outcast on Mount Crumpet. It's August Mayhew, the mayor of Whoville. The Grinch didn't become bitter and hateful out of nowhere. He was pushed, humiliated, and emotionally destroyed there, largely because of one petty, jealous, entitled man. Let's start with their childhood because that's where the damage begins. Martha was never August's girlfriend, not then, not ever. The only person she showed genuine interest in was the Grinch. She was kind to him when no one else was, and instead of accepting that, August reacted the way insecure people often do, by tearing someone else down. Because Martha didn't like him, he decided to punish the person she did like.
You don't have a chance with her. You're 8 years old and you have a beard.
The Grinch shaving his fur wasn't a joke. He did it because he wanted to be accepted, because he wanted to feel normal, because he wanted to belong. And what happened? Publicly humiliated, mocked by the entire school. Even the teacher was laughing. Fake ass hoe. That moment didn't just embarrass him, it shattered his confidence and self-worth. And at the center of that moment was August Mayhew, satisfied that he won. Won what? You still didn't bag the girl, clown. They hated him for things he could have controlled. He's green and hairy. He was born this way. What did y'all want him to do? Fast forward to adulthood, he's now the mayor of Whoville. Who elected him? And he hasn't changed at all. He's just louder, richer, and hiding behind a smile. The hubilation proves this perfectly. For once, the Grinch is genuinely happy. He's laughing, he's participating. Cindy Lou is smiling because she finally sees her plan working. The Grinch is being accepted. For a brief moment, things are actually okay. And then bitch-ass August ruins everything.
The gift of a Christmas shade.
Funny. Yes, but not funny, haha. Funny, weird.
He intentionally reminds the Grinch of the most painful moment of his childhood. Not accidentally, not unknowingly, on purpose. And then, if that wasn't enough, he proposes to Miss Martha right in front of him. Not out of love, but out of spite. Out of a desperate need to prove that even if Martha doesn't love him, he could still claim her. It was never romantic, it was performative, and to show the Grinch she's mine. Martha is stunned, torn, because she already knows who her heart belongs to. What finally breaks the Grinch at the hubilation isn't just a razor, and it isn't just a proposal. It's the realization that the same person who destroyed his childhood is still hurting the people he cares about, and that Martha, for a brief moment, is being treated the same way he was. Martha begins to understand something about August. He doesn't see people as people, he sees them as something to be owned. His proposal is timed perfectly to assert dominance not just over Martha, but over the Grinch. The Grinch's face says everything. The proposal itself is upsetting, but what really hurts him is Martha's hesitation. Not because she owes him anything, but because to him, it feels like history repeating itself. Martha's hesitation doesn't mean she doesn't love the Grinch. In fact, it proves how deeply trapped she's been. She has carried a quiet, unresolved affection for him since they were kids. She was never afraid of him, just like Cindy wasn't afraid of him. Martha always saw him as human, a who. August treated the Grinch differently because Martha wanted him.
Oh, I'm marrying you. You about to have all my baby.
That's the root of everything. He couldn't stand that someone like the Grinch, someone he saw as lesser was chosen over him. His jealousy was so intense that it curdled into obsession and lifelong resentment. Even as a grown adult in his big old age with money, power, and public admiration, he still couldn't let that shit go. By the end of the film, Martha's choice isn't sudden, it's overdue. She doesn't just choose the Grinch, she chooses herself. She rejects being owned, displayed, and spoken over. She finally aligns herself with the person who always saw her as she was, not a prize. The Grinch never deserved what happened to him, not as a child, not as an adult. And you know what? The Grinch had every right to crash out. Being publicly humiliated as a child and re-traumatized as an adult, best believe I would have robbed Whoville blind. The Grinch didn't go far enough for me. I would have pulled a pain and done a Shinra Tensei. The hell wrong with y'all? Making him relive the worst time of his life. But you know what truly cements August as the real villain is what happens afterward. When the Who's woke up without Christmas, he blames Cindy, a child, a little girl whose only crime was believing that kindness mattered. Mind you, if his bitch ass never pulled that stunt with the razor and let the Grinch rock, none of this would have happened. Cindy didn't ruin Christmas. She tried to save it. She wanted the Grinch to feel loved because she saw his loneliness and recognized his humanity. She wanted Whoville to be better. If anything, Whoville failed her and the Grinch.
Santa, don't forget the Grinch. I think he's actually kind of sweet.
Oh my god, my Shayla. My Shayla.
And what does the bitch ass mayor do? He makes her cry. He tells her it's all your fault. It has the nerve to talk about how she hasn't grown into her nose yet.
Girl, who hasn't even grown into her nose yet.
So you bullied the Grinch for being green and hairy, something that he was born with, something that he cannot control. And now you're doing the same thing with Cindy. I know you ain't talking with your receding let it go hairline. Ooh. So no, the Grinch was never the true villain. He's the victim. August Mayhew represents everything wrong within Whoville. Being a whole hater because a girl that was never yours to begin with wanted Shrek's seasonal cousin. Also, my thing is, what is it with people saying, oh, so-and-so is my girlfriend, boyfriend, when you know damn well they ain't? Not to mention the romance between Martha and the Emerald Menace. Girl, I haven't seen a person this down bad for their man since Helga from Hey Arnold.
Why must I worship you and never ever tell? Oh. Arnold, you make my girlhood tremble.
I ride him and suck him, lick him and fuck him, then I duck him.
Martha has carried a torch for him since they were kids.
I just love the colors. The red and the green.
Damn, she's what, 8, 9 years old and flirting like a pro. When I was that age, I didn't know ish. Even as a grown woman whose outfits were cunty as hell. Oh my god, it's the way I wanted that robe. I still want that robe right now. She stayed wanting that Grinch ussy. The Grinch rightfully is confused that someone like Martha is being nice to him, and he decides to give something back. So he made her a gift with his own hands. Baby boy made a homemade Christmas angel pieced together from things around his house. It was personal, it was love in its purest form. And we all know what happens afterwards.
I hate Christmas!
The anger.
The fury.
The muscles.
You want to know what really certified Martha's love for the Grinch? When she picked up the pieces of the ornaments, the gem pieces in her hair are the same ones that were in her Christmas present from Grinchy. Not to mention, every year during Christmas, Martha doesn't just decorate her house to win. She makes sure it's the brightest in Whoville. Brighter than necessary. Bright enough to be seen from Mount Crumpet. It was never about the competition, babes. Martha was reaching out to her man. So come closer to my screen and listen to your girl tunes. The next time you ever feel insecure and talk badly about yourself, just remember, the Grinch pulled the baddest Who in Whoville. If he can do it, so can you. If Shrek can pull Fiona, so can you. If Roger Rabbit can pull Jessica, so can you. Don't let no bitch ass wannabe bully stop you from getting your happily ever after. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the notification so you never miss an update. And guess what's coming up next, y'all?
Beat you? Girls, don't you see? I've already won.
And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.